Welcome to Small Business Celebration. We're continuing our series on small business owners who are getting the move on. And our guest this week, well, he's going to help you grow your business to the second phase. This is Small Business Celebration. Welcome, where we chat with real business owners who have real success and learn from them about what works, what doesn't, and who want you to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and it's not a train. Join us where you can learn something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business. Welcome to Small Business Celebration, and our guest this week is Frank Miranda, the owner of Second Phase Brewery. Welcome to Small Business Celebration.
I appreciate you having me on here. This is amazing.
Well, and for visitors who don't know who you are you, and what is it that you do?
Hi, my name is Frank Miranda, aka Pancho. I'm the owner and brewer at Second Phase Brewing, where we work on making fantastic experimental brews.
Most small business owners open a business to solve a problem. And I know lots of people want to go through it. Oh, I like to drink beer. I think I'll start a brewery. But you actually did it.
Yes.
Why on earth did you open up your brewery?
I'm born and raised in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
So one of my biggest things is I've always loved downtown. And with my previous career as a chemist,
What kind? A chemist? Well, what kind of chemist?
I was a water chemist, but also did a lot of like biochemistry in medical fields as well before all of this.
Boy, there's a rabbit hole I can go down. Get into that. But you were a chemist.
Yes.
And you still are a chemist. You're just brewing something different.
Yeah. No, still deal with water. You know, obviously we need a lot of water for the beer that we make here.
Right.
So, just was doing laboratories, was working for a corporate business, and then eventually just decided that I needed to do something on my own and tried to bring something back to Bakersfield. And I was home brewing in my backyard for about 8 to 9 years before I opened this place up. Decided if I wanted to do chemistry or make beer, and the beer seemed a little bit better kind of avenue. So
how did you tell your wife that that honey, I'm actually going to do this?
I'm pretty sure she knew with all the amount of beer that I had stored in the closet, plus the 8 taps in the backyard beer room, the beer room that we called it. So
also known as the third guest room.
Yes. The party room, I guess.
Oh, there you go. But having a hobby with beer is very different than actually owning a business that makes beer.
That's true.
You make craft beer.
Yep.
What was the impetus for going down the rabbit hole, as it were, and finding the property here on 19th Street?
I mean, honestly, it was just that push of like saying that I want to do something that's my own. Now being the first brewery in downtown, it ended up being that goal where it's like, I want to add something that's gonna make a difference or just add value.
Why this location on 19th Street?
Everyone always asks me why we chose this place. You know, we honestly ended up just getting lucky in finding this place. And, you know, the moment that we walked into it, it was just the situation where we were like, you just felt it. So, like, you know, there was a lot of space that was taken up in this location,
right?
And we tore it all down, and we just felt at the beginning like we just wanted to keep it as natural to Bakersfield as possible. So, yeah, we just got lucky, honestly, in that round, and I'm super happy. It was a lot bigger than what I wanted to start off with.
You walked in and went, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
Because for somebody who's just starting brewery, this is a pretty big space.
It's a very big space. Yes.
And yes, you have the area where you craft the brew. You also have the counter and tables. And it looks like that initially you were just trying to find things to fill the space.
In the long run, the brew house was already planned out. Like I already knew in my head how much space I need for the brewing process. The rest of it was just more of how do we make people feel comfortable and enjoy the space as much as we're enjoying it. So,
Right.
and come back to it. And we do hear that quite a bit where, people just walk in and are like amazed on the
Right.
space, and that's exactly what we wanted.
Well, one of the other things that also works that you're doing well is your social media is fantastic. and a big part of that is all the activities that you have, because it's
Yes.
more than, it seems to me you do more than, hey, let's just go into the second phase and get a beer to drink.
Yes.
What was that intentional, or did that just kind of come say, oh, by the way, we got this extra space, let's go have a karaoke night?
I mean, again, it just comes back to wanting people to have a good time when they come in here. And we started off trying to figure out, obviously when you first open, you're like, I don't know musicians, I don't know, how to like even search for events at the beginning.
Right.
And we're finally getting into that like comfortable zone where not only do the people that come in here and have a good time, enjoy the music and all the events that we do, but we also have now musician friends that are like bringing that, or people that do events wanting to be here and doing stuff with us. And I'm always open to that. Like if you want to do something here, let's go. Like
Right.
I'm ready.
When we come back, Frank is going to talk about something that's very interesting. Very often we get other small business owners that want to partner. They want to join in. They want their product and service in your business. But how do you discern which ones you let in and which ones do you do business? But before we do that, Frank, if visionaries want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
We're on Instagram at Second Phase Brewing, Facebook also Second Phase Brewing, our website secondphasebrewing.com. We have 2 emails in there that you can contact us personally, or if you're wanting to do an event or bring in any kind of music, there's another email address on that as well.
Address?
1004 19th Street. We're on the corner of O and 19th, and we're kind of tucked in the corner, so just give us a little turnaround from Pokey and you'll see where we're at.
And if you enjoy Small Business Celebration, go ahead and like, subscribe, and notify. And when we come back, we're going to talk about partnering with other businesses. When we come right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hugh Beatty, the Wellness Doc, aka TWD. If you find yourself struggling with chronic stress and feeling physically exhausted, and it's impacting your blood pressure, and this has a major impact on your business performance, you need to come see me, Dr. Hugh Beatty, the Wellness Doc. I can evaluate you for hormonal deficiencies, nutritional deficiencies, and gut health. If you want to get your life back, please come see me, Dr. Hugh Beatty, the Wellness Doc.
Reach out to Hugh Beatty, MD, the Wellness Doc, at 661-395-0315. That's 661-395-0315. Or visit him online at hughbeattymd.com. That's hughbeattymd.com. I'm here with Frank Miranda, the owner of Second Phase Brewery, and our visionary question comes from Carla, who asks, I'm trying to get my products into other well-established small businesses. What have you found that works?
We've found a lot of groups through Instagram and Facebook, and we've hit the farmers markets. I'm consistently looking out. Even making our beer, we're looking for farms to work with that we can get product in.
Local farms.
Right. For sure. Like everything that I want to make that requires some kind of fruit or addition to our beers, I really want to work with local farmers in Bakersfield. So farmers markets have been the biggest one. Instagram, I'm consistently looking at what people are doing.
Right.
We found a lot, especially with our cocktails, our seltzer cocktails, that, we're working with just communication between companies that have products that I think will mesh well. We have Howie's Michelada Mix now. We have
and show us real quick what that is, because you've got 2 vendors that you've actually partnered with, and who are they?
So we have Howie's Michelada Mix,
right?
And we've worked with Howie's for a while. We also do special events with him where he comes in and brings his whole product setup.
Wow!
And then we do Michelada nights.
Wow!
Like a Taco Tuesday kind of deal. Just signed up with SoCal Tamal. Doing agua frescas with our seltzer cocktails.
So you're taking what you already make and partnering up and mixing it with these 2 other, and for them, because I imagine you get a lot of business owners that come in and they've got this and that and the other thing that they want you to or like to have you sell here in the brewery. How did you determine that these two, as well as Rosa's Ice Cream?
I was going to say, we have La Rosa as well.
La Rosa's Ice Cream, yeah. How did you determine that, yes, you would work with them and not with others?
We've tried a lot of other places, and it's just more of the communication and like being on top of, the back and forth with these guys. And it's just, we go out there and taste the product. If it's good, we partner up with them and make sure that we make them happy and they make us happy, and we're good to go.
It also sounds like whatever you partner with has to fit your business.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's things that we know that we can't really mix up with our beers, or like if we're working on new slushies or something, might not be ideal.
Right.
But we're also looking for the new next thing. So if someone's out there that has, something innovative,
right,
I'm on top of it. We have a couple more new things coming up in the future that are a little bit different than what's out there right now. So
tell me about watermelon.
Oh yeah. So it was our first year kind of getting a good new seltzer, and obviously everyone loves watermelon.
Well, I don't, but yeah, I'm weird that way. But that's beside the point. Everybody else in Tampa loves it.
We hooked up with Saya Farms to get watermelons from them at the farmers market.
Right.
It was a lot of watermelons. It was about 35 large watermelons in my Ford Fiesta driving down 19th Street. So that was also the start of it.
Did a bunch of clowns come out?
Oh yeah, I was going to say it was pretty. It was a pretty good sight. If you go to our Instagram, you can see the picture of the back of my car. So
okay.
Get it all in there. We pureed ourselves, and that's one of the biggest things that I really strive for. Is I want to do fresh fruit into our beer. So we pureed 35 watermelons, trying to get into the kegs. First time using this new filter that we bought, and then eventually the filter goes too much on the high end of pressure and pops.
Oh no!
And this whole place was covered in watermelon. It smelled like watermelon for 2 weeks. I smelled like watermelon for 2 weeks. And consistently just had it stuck in my beard the entire time. So, we'll bring something like that back soon, but
without all the watermelon covering.
Yeah. We've gotten far enough to figure out we shouldn't do this next time.
Right.
Got it.
Well, but that leads to the system and processes because anybody, I shouldn't say anybody, but most anybody can make beer.
Yes. You can do it at home.
Right, you can do it at home. The recipes have been around since the 16th century or something like that. But actually doing it here, you have to approach things a little bit differently than you did at home. How are things different here?
So a lot of it's just more just new equipment. You're now having to get adjusted to your equipment.
Right.
Know your tanks and it's funny because you buy the same tanks.
Right.
And then every single one of them acts completely different than the other. It's
like they have their own personality.
I was going to say it was like my kids. They all act differently. So
sure.
So once you get used to your process and your system,
right,
then that's when things start to get a little bit more convenient and easier. But it doesn't mean that it stops there.
No.
You still have new things that show up, and you're consistently
a new filter system.
Yeah, I was going to say you're consistently adjusting to the change.
But one of the things that you also had to deal with is during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a rather large facility here,
yes, mm-hmm,
employees, and you've got a whole bunch of product that's being made, and then March happens of COVID, and suddenly, oh no, you can't open anymore.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that?
Honestly, the biggest thing was just adjusting what our original business plan was. The original business plan was the goal, having people in here sitting down drinking beer.
Right.
And we focused on that, and once the shutdown happened, that went away.
Right.
So the week right after, it was all right. Now we're adjusting to putting beer in cans, which wasn't my original plan. It was a future kind of, luxury.
Right.
But we had to get the equipment for that. We had to get to canning. We had to adjust the way that we're doing, and it was super tricky just because we didn't have beer out that people just knew what it tasted like. We were putting brand new beer into cans and hoping people would buy 4-packs and go, okay, I think this might be.
Why 4-packs?
4-packs were just the easiest thing at the time.
Okay.
Canning wise, like all the tools that you use to like seal a can up. I mean, we were practically canning by hand. I think I did about 6,000 cans by hand myself during the whole.
You have the
2020.
calluses to prove it?
Yeah. So it's like immediately going from the tank to the can and then sealing it, and 4-packs was just the easiest way. And also at that time, cans were in scarcity. 12-ounce cans were in scarcity. Glass growlers were in all that stuff was just, everybody was canning. So we had to compete with other breweries.
How did the shutdown and introducing canned beer affect the way you do business now?
I mean, in the long run, it actually pushed us faster into the future in the whole entire scheme of things. I mean, like I said, we weren't planning on canning until a couple years into having the business open, but then we went back to being open, and now we have cans, and it got our name out a little bit faster, I believe. We also focused a lot on social media to make sure that people just didn't forget about us, and continued with that, and gave me the time to do the experimental stuff now that we can have, the custom seltzer for our cocktails, or a lot of the fruited stuff that takes a little bit longer.
The time off was a good thing.
Kind of. I mean, it was a lot of work. And I put a lot of time into it, and I spent a lot of time and hours here. But it did push the process to become more refined. And then also just let us play around a little bit more.
When we come back, we're going to talk about competition, and is having competition next door and down the street a good thing? When we come right back. The reason we're here with Frank Miranda, the owner of Second Phase Brewery, is because of a Visioneer question that came from a Visioneer just like you. They wanted to find out, if I have my business right next to another business or in the general vicinity, isn't that competition a bad thing? So if you've got a question, you've got a thought, something you'd like to learn about here on Small Business Celebration, reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, and let us know. And who knows, your question could appear here on Small Business Celebration. So reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram today. I'm here with Frank Miranda, the owner of Second Phase Brewery, and our Visioneer question comes from Sabitha, who asks, there are several businesses that are opening up in the same area of town that I'm in, and I'm afraid too many of us are going to saturate the market here. What should I do?
As breweries, I would want them to come down and be close to me, because it creates this atmosphere, this craft beer area, and we get more people that are in the same realm of like, I want to go drink craft beer. We can go to downtown. There's
several to choose from.
Yeah, you could walk from one brewery to another and enjoy different styles.
I
mean, we do our craft beer, but someone else is going to do it completely different. And it just brings this almost like center area of like, this is downtown craft beer area. I mean, even same with the other breweries, like we still work with them quite a bit.
And it also goes not just with beer, but Bottle Shock is right down the street for wine, and there's several other kinds of alcohol-related businesses like that. Doesn't that overall help elevate your business? Oh,
for sure. I mean, my biggest passion is just craft. People enjoying different styles that are outside of what's normal, I guess. But craft beer, craft wine, I mean, there's so many new distilleries that are opening up too. Like, that's the stuff that, like, I call it craft-centric. If we can get that to work, you're just going to have an amazing downtown, amazing place that you're going to support each other.
Now, Visioneers, you probably notice if you're listening to this on the podcast or if you're watching this on YouTube, you probably notice there aren't any customers in here. That's because we're recording this prior to an opening. So it's fairly quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator that's going on. But Frank, if I weren't here and you were the only one in here and you have control of the stereo, what do you listen to?
Oh, I bounce around big time.
Okay.
If you talk to anyone that comes in here, like any of my employees, the most likely are hearing country music.
Okay,
I mean, again,
all right.
I'm a Bakersfield boy.
Right.
I got into that, but I'm like totally into 90s alternative, like 90s music all the way. Like I mean, I have 2 girls. Like I listen to all the new stuff as well. Like I don't have that many options. I mean, like I'm consistently just enjoying any kind of genre of music.
Right.
In most cases.
What has listening to the country music, or going back to the childhood of the 90s, how has listening to that music influenced your business?
I mean, honestly, it's the concept of you're not stuck into one kind of genre. Like and the same thing with my beers. Like
Right.
there's beers that I don't like to drink,
Right.
but I also have to make them.
Right.
So you just end up trying to enjoy them,
Right.
and make sure that they're the way that they're supposed to be, so your customers enjoy them. But I love like just coming up with what's the new thing? What's
Right.
the new thing that's in my head that I can put into a glass?
Right. Right. For a limited time only.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Because a lot of your beers are seasonal, are they
yes.
not? Putting this entire business together, finding the location, you were able to pull all this together in what, 2-3 days?
Oh yeah. Sure. It felt like that.
This happened in no time at all, did it? Right?
This took a lot of family effort. So,
Sure,
yeah,
right.
we took about what were we at, like 6 to 7 months before we actually opened our doors.
Right, and that's just getting the facility ready.
Just getting the facility ready.
And then have things slowed down ever since? I
No.
mean, you just play pinochle,
Yeah.
you know, on
I'm all the free time.
all the free time in the world. But is this something that you've noticed that other business owners fail to understand, or potential prospective business owners?
I mean, honestly, like I said, like you go into this with a lot of work and a lot of passion, and you're doing it consistently, and then you don't realize that once you open, you're going to do more work than what you did before.
Right, sure.
So everything changes. You're consistently having to reevaluate what you're doing, and there's a lot of long days.
What makes you wake up every morning and open your business?
I mean, honestly, the biggest thing and the reason that I started this place was that I had a passion for craft beer. And I loved making these recipes in my backyard, and I loved making beer. And it was just like, what can I do that will not only just keep this going, the beer end of things going, and my creativity going on the beer end, but could I add any value to Bakersfield? And this helped get that going. So I wake up thinking I'm doing something for this town that I love and keeping my creativity going.
If visionaries want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Through our Instagram, I'm consistently on Instagram.
And what's your handle on Instagram?
Second Phase Brewing on Instagram. Also through Facebook, also Second Phase Brewing, or just our email address, info@secondphasebrewing.com.
And where are we at?
1004 19th Street, on the corner of 19th and O Street, and I'm usually here, so you can just come in and shake my hand.
Well, Frank, this has been a privilege. Thank you very much for joining us here on Small Business Celebration. It's been a long time coming.
It has. I appreciate it. No, it's fantastic. I love the show. It's great.
Thank you very much, and we'll be right back with my final thought.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hugh Beatty, the Wellness Doc, aka TWD. If you find yourself struggling with chronic stress and feeling physically exhausted, and it's impacting your blood pressure, and this has a major impact on your business performance, you need to come see me, Dr. Hugh Beatty, the Wellness Doc. I can evaluate you for hormonal deficiencies, nutritional deficiencies, and gut health. If you want to get your life back, please come see me, Dr. Hugh Beatty, the Wellness Doc.
Reach out to Hugh Beatty, MD, the Wellness Doc, at 661-395-0315. That's 661-395-0315. Or visit him online at hughbeattymd.com. That's HUGHBEATTYMD.com. I may be slow, but I'll get there. Growing up in Ridgecrest, California, it's the home of the Mojave Desert. It's also the home of the California desert tortoise. Now, growing up, my parents had many friends, and a pair of them were Leo and Gloria Nowak, and they were big fans of the California desert tortoise long before it was cool to be so. Now, Leo Nowak was an artist, and when the California Desert Tortoise Preserve was being created, they were doing a fundraiser where Leo put his talents as a cartoonist to work. He drew a cartoon of a desert tortoise for a t-shirt. And on the front of the t-shirt, it had the tortoise with a smile, and it had the saying over the top that said, "I may be slow." But on the back of the shirt, it was the back of the tortoise, and it said, "But I'll get there." Now, my parents got me one of these shirts when I was a kid, and I love this shirt, and I wore it out. In fact, my parents got me 2 more copies of that shirt, and I wore them out as well. And looking back in life, I realized that this mantra really hits home for me, and it has stuck through me in my entire life. I may be slow, but I'll get there. I may not be the rabbit, I may not be the hare, but we just keep poking along. We just keep moving along. We just don't stop. We just keep going. For a lot of business owners, things are really busy right now, and some things are really tough. And for some business owners, you wake up in the morning and you wonder why you're doing what you're doing. But sometimes you have to be like the desert tortoise. You may be slow, but you'll get there. I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Frank Miranda, the owner of Second Phase Brewery, and I hope you learned something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business, and we'll see you here again next week. By the way, why do bees have sticky hair?
Why do bees have sticky hair? I have no idea. This sounds like a joke that's coming through.
It's a dad joke.
I was going to say, I felt like it was like, I got a couple things, but I'm not sure. I know it sounded like a dad joke.
Please do tell.
Yeah,
You're under pressure. You're under pressure. Quick.
No, I don't got it.
Because they have a honeycomb.
Dang it. Yeah, now I felt it. I felt that.
Welcome to Small Business Celebration.